I wanted to share something that came through about the energy from this week. For this week that we're entering, I asked about the collective energy because I always check in. My husband and I will sit down most mornings and we'll just tune into, especially Mondays and sometimes Sundays, we'll ask about this coming week. So we get some information about our personal lives, but something that came through for the collective was, especially I always kind of caveat this for those who are consciously awakening, okay? There's a lot of people who are moving through different phases of awakening right now, but there are those of us who are doing it consciously. And it doesn't make it easier, does it? So, one of the things that came through is that a lot of people have been feeling like it's hard to connect, that they haven't been feeling maybe as easily their higher presence, their team. And what was coming through, am I recording this? I am recording this. What was coming through is that we may feel a shift around this week where we're going to feel that stronger connection, that stronger guiding force. Sometimes when we go through psychic upgrades, I'm going to call it a psychic upgrade, okay? Which means our psychic gifts, our psychic skills that all of us, every human has access to. But when we get, head down and we're so in the 3D physical world and we don't actually think about anything beyond this physical experience, we start to turn off our psychic skills. And I would say that we're always probably picking up on things, but are we doing it consciously? Now, there are those of us who are empaths, and it's part of our orientation in that we receive information that's non-physical. And part of our path is to try to learn how to wield that, how to strengthen that, so it becomes our source of strength and not a source of burden. A lot of us have it as burden until we understand how to have strong boundaries and how to clear our energy, because we're picking up all this information and we don't know if it's mine, if it's somebody else's. And that's why we bring out our sponge. But when we go through upgrades, like we've been in, and we're constantly in an upgrade now. Who am I kidding? With all of this accelerated awakening energy. But we'll have like maybe a week or two of a respite, and then we go back into an upgrade. And this last one we've been in, and they're really showing me we're going to be in this until we close this 9-year cycle. Um, Maybe not so intensely. Like I know the last couple weeks have been very intense for people. But what happens is sometimes our psychic skills or our psychic gifts can be turned down. The reason being is because we need to enter it with fresh eyes or fresh perspective. Okay. So if we're always, working with our psychic gifts in a certain way, and most of us are doing it without even realizing, like I'll share with myself, one of my strong ones is clear cognizance, clear knowing. And because it's been a part of me for my whole life, I don't know that I have it, right? Like I mean, I do understand later because I've been working with, strengthening it, but I didn't know that I was it was just who I thought I was, right? That I would just get this information. And so that can be a lot of us, especially I'll say the conscious awakeners. And then what happens is we need to refresh the way we work with it, because we may be outdated in, we're not picking up new ways of addressing things because we've been doing it in such a way. And so our psychic skills will go through, or our psychic gifts will kind of go through like a turning down. And I feel like a lot of people have been feeling that, like it feels like it's harder to connect. And they're showing me that this week we may feel a shift in that, and that you'll be noticing things maybe in ways that you haven't noticed before. So just staying in that really curious, open, not attached. That's the best way for things to come through. Also, not too attached on the way that the information comes through, because there's so many different ways, and there's the clairs, right? The claircognizance, the clairvoyance, the clairsentience, the clairaudience. Like there's all different ways that psychic energy comes through. The clair, that's why we always practice clear feeling, by just feeling our guides and our angels, because that is one of the most powerful ways, because there's transmission that happens. There's transmission, like codes are exchanged through when we feel, that we don't need to actually we don't need to see, we don't need to hear. And that's something that a lot of people have, and they dismiss within themselves because it doesn't feel like this big grandiose, like, clairvoyance is probably the most obvious one, where it's like, oh, you're getting, or even like when someone, some people can hear a voice speaking to them, but that doesn't mean that it's any better than other psychic gifts. Clairsentience is really powerful, but we also can pick up feelings from people very easily when we have this. And so we do need to understand what's mine, or the reason why we pick up information is because we're meant to share it. And so maybe do I practice starting to share things, because that's also a way that we can serve. But we also want to make sure that we're not, delivering unsolicited advice. So we have to enter everything in a really respectful way. So it's all a dance and a practice, but hopefully everybody this week will start to feel some shift in feeling more connected, if that's been something that you haven't been feeling very strong with. And then it's 2:09. I'm trying to keep a track of time so that we can have enough for this session. What we're going to do today is, and we've done, we've been doing this in the last several sessions. So when we come into a place of coherence, okay, and we come in and we drop into the heart, and we drop into first we drop into presence, right? We become the observer. So we become the energy, or we become the awareness beyond our ego, beyond our personality, our human personality. So we start to feel our multidimensionality. It's almost like we kind of melt into that. And we melt into a place beyond time and space. We just melt into pure awareness. And so this is when we start to come into presence, and it's a beautiful, wonderful, important practice to continue to weave into your day, because it allows you to catch up. All right. If we're spending so much time in our head, and we're also processing so much that's pulling us into the past because of things that got stuck or frozen in the past that are trying to come up to move, every moment that we come into presence gives our body and gives our field an opportunity to process what's trying to process. Okay, so think about it that way. It's a nice opportunity, a nice opening to bring all of you into this now moment. And as we always say, there's nothing that exists other than this present moment. So everything, if we're spending our time in the past or in our imagination, we're fragmented, we're split. So you want to keep coming back here, because this is where we can fully reset. This is where we can fully come back into wholeness. And so what we'll do is we're going to come into our broader presence, into the observer, drop into the heart, activate the heart, which is very simple to do. And then when we do this, which is presence infused with love or infused with heart, that gives us this really powerful state of being, where when we bless something from this state of being, we have we essentially have now shifted into the image of creator. We'll say the image of the divine, a reflection, an aspect of the divine, when we are in presence infused with love. And so that means that whatever we are directing our attention to has the capability to come back into its divine order. Okay, come back into wholeness. This is alchemy. This is transmutation. And we're not controlling anything. We're not trying to force anything to do that. It's just the power that happens when we come into our own divine expression and we witness something else. It's almost like when we bless something, we're blessing something. We're saying, I honor the divinity in you. Okay, that's very powerful to do. I honor the divinity in you. That's what blessing is. Okay, well, this is what they show me blessing is. And so when we bless things throughout the day, and I want to say in this Sunday, we're doing a 1 hour workshop closing your 9 year cycle. And we're going to bless our past 9 year cycle. Okay. Because blessing is also a great form of gratitude. There's nothing that closes things cleaner than when we thank it. Okay. So that's going to be this Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Please join if you're around. And today what we're going to do is we're going to bless ourselves, but also I'm going to invite you to bring an aspect of your inner child. Okay. So don't think about it right now. We're going to get into a meditative state, and then I'm going to invite you to call forth your inner child, and whatever age comes up, go with it. Okay. And then if there isn't an age that comes up, that's okay too. You can just, don't force anything. But the idea is that if there's a part of us that is still frozen in the past, right? Like, so if there's still part of me, there's still aspects of my inner child that are not fully integrated into me. Okay. And when we can go and we can bless those versions of us, right? I honor the divinity in you. I see you, because that's all that our inner child needs, is for us to see their light. Okay. Because they have forgotten. Maybe they were in a life circumstance where they were surrounded by people who could not see who they truly were. So the thing with our inner children is that they don't need their caretakers or the people in their life to be anything other than who they are, but they need to feel us, right? Us here in presence, coming to them and seeing them and saying, I've got you. I'm here for you. I honor the light in you. I see the light in you. I see you. So we're going to do that today for whatever reason that's coming up. And we're going to bless that version, that aspect of us that comes from the past. And the more we bless, that means I see the divinity in you. That also opens up the opportunity to come even deeper into wholeness. And this is going to be a big theme in our next 9 year cycle. Okay. This past 9 year cycle has really been about seeing where we are in our own self-sabotaging cages. And the next 9 year cycle is going to be really about coming in deeper into wholeness, really, really remembering the divinity within us, because the more we do, the more life will unfold in fulfillment for us and with us. Okay. Because fulfillment is from feeling full within ourselves. And we feel full within ourselves when we have remembered the divinity, the light within us. Okay. So let us begin. Oh, I see you. I know. That's what our inner children need, right? They just need to be seen and witnessed for who they are. They need to be, their light needs to be seen. Okay. So just take a moment. And let's just pause in silence for about 30 seconds. And this is just a way for you to start transitioning into this moment, into this now moment. I always, when I do this, I can even just envision my energy kind of being, like maybe I left it a little bit with Theo this morning when I dropped him off, or with my husband. So it's like I'm calling back my energy. And you can even do it consciously, or you can just do it by focusing on your breath, because wherever you place your focus, and if you place 100% of your focus somewhere, your energy will follow. Will always follow your focus. So just bringing your awareness, bringing your attention to your breath, and see if you can bring 100% of your focus there. And so right away, Let's call in our ring of light. So calling in your ancestors from the light, your angels, your guides, your guardians, your teachers, your mentors. There's so many light beings that we work with. And whomever wants to show up right now, invite them in, invite them to circle you as you just beautifully, boldly, consciously just sit amongst their presence. And let's just pause here, not overthinking, just being, giving yourself permission to receive. I give myself permission to receive their support, their light, their love, their unconditional love, their reflection back to me, because they are just reflecting back to you who you are, the light within you. And so just breathing as you feel their presence. And now they're turning up their light, okay? And so just imagine and envision that they're turning up their light, and now that light, that frequency is filling your entire home or wherever you may be. Their beautiful, harmonic, coherent energy. And so we are just boosting the energy, the frequency in our own living space, our own environment. And we're just now resting in that beautiful harmonic energy. May the frequency, wherever you may be right now, may it support your highest expression. Sometimes we can be in environments that are so destabilizing that it's actually hard to keep our frequency up. So we're holding the intention that our environment lifts and supports our highest expression. Beautiful. And now bringing your awareness to your heart and just bringing to your consciousness, to your conscious awareness, your heart activator. And what I mean by that is something really sweet and simple that warms your heart, that brings a smile to you. The more simple, the better. Something recent maybe. And just pause on that and breathe that into your heart. Maybe something that made you laugh. Maybe someone who actually saw you. I always think that just when you have a smile with a stranger on the street, I just love that. That always warms my heart. Maybe puppy licks. Just bring whatever to mind and just breathe that into your heart. And let's take a nice deep breath into the heart and then breathe out of the heart. Again, breathing into the heart and breathing out of the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Once again, breathing in, breathing out. And now your heart is beginning to activate heart coherence, heart harmony, bringing you deeper into harmony, into balance, into your own divine rhythm. Presence infused with love. Love is not like the love that we know of from the movies. Love being the frequency of oneness. Presence infused with love, with heart. Beautiful. And now just take a moment, just to bless your whole body. So send your whole physical body a blessing right now. And maybe there's some area in your physical body that's tight or maybe even in pain, and just bring your awareness to it and breathe into wherever that area may be and bless it. I honor the divinity in you, even in your body. Every cell in your body holds a divine spark. The light is in everything. And just feel your body relax. Think about when we bless something, we are also bringing it into current time, into the current moment. And oftentimes why the body aches is because it's frozen in the past as well. So when we bless the body, we also invite it to come into this eternal moment. Beautiful. And now let's just simply go one by one with our 7 main chakras and bless our chakras. So moving to the root chakra at the pelvic region, at the base of your spine, and just breathe in and bless. Bless the first chakra, the root chakra. And as you bless, just by being awareness, presence infused with love, the power of doing this is that you are now capable of bringing any dissonance or disorder back into order. So whatever is not conscious in the first chakra, whatever is dense, will start to clear out as you bless it, and we restore it back into its highest divine expression. Beautiful. Moving to your sacral right below your belly button and just blessing right below your belly button, and just breathe there, blessing the second chakra. As you bless it, feel it come into restoration. It's reset back into its wholeness. Coming into your solar plexus, the soft space below your rib cage, and breathe there and bless your third chakra, your solar plexus. Bless your heart chakra. Breathe presence infused with love into the heart. Bless your throat chakra. Bless your sixth chakra, your mind's eye. Bless your seventh chakra, your crown. Bless the space above your head. This can get heavy for a lot of people, especially if they're in their head a lot, or they feel alone, or they feel unsupported. They'll feel weighted down up here. So just bless above your head. Bless to the left of you in your auric field. Bless to the right of you. Everywhere you bless, you leave behind more presence, more light. Bless behind you, go up and down your spinal column, up and down your back, also behind your head. Just bless that whole area. Bless in front of you. We're blessing your emotional body. So anything that's stuck in the past now will clear and reset and come back into this eternal moment. Bless your mental body. Again, any patterns that are frozen in the past, especially those rooted in scarcity or lack, which is the opposite of remembering you are divine. Those are misunderstandings, those are distortions. We're clearing that as we bless our mental body. Bless below your feet. And now we're bringing through the attunement. And as we bring through the attunement, just bring your awareness to that radiant, infinite sun within you, okay? So this is not just at your solar plexus. It encompasses both your heart and your solar plexus. This is your source. This is your spark of divine. This is the reminder that you are one with Creator, one with the divine. You hold this within you, within your core of who you are. And so just breathe into this as we bring through the attunement as well, because as we bring this attunement through, this light within you starts to grow stronger. And so they're showing me the group is at a 7.5. This is the highest we've been, 7.5 out of 10. So we're going to come up to our 10 as we breathe, as we do this as a collective in community. How beautiful for each one of us to be coming into presence, remembering our divinity, breathing into that radiant infinite sun as we move up to an 8. As we start to strengthen our inner vibration, any density just starts to clear away because it cannot stay in our field when our vibration gets this high. And now we're moving up to an 8.5, feeling the presence of your angels around you, your guides. You are not doing this alone. You've got this beautiful, powerful team with you. Moving up to your 9. Nothing for you to do, nothing for you to overthink. You're just breathing and being, recognizing the light within you, breathing into it, understanding that this light that you hold at your core sustains and supplies everything you need, everything you need. Everything you need to live a fulfilling, enriched, vibrant, beautiful life is already within you. And just breathe as we move up to a 9.5. And now we're moving up to our 10. As we bless each other, let's bless this circle, bless one another. I honor the divinity within you. And now our blessings, our heart energy starts to magnify, expand, and we also direct this energy, this beautiful blessing to the entire planet. We honor the divinity in everyone. And now coming back to your breath, just pause in silence. Shields up if you need some boundaries around you. Strengthen your boundaries so that you're not absorbing. And now let's take a nice deep breath in and exhale. And as we close, we know that everything we just released, everything that we just cleared and emptied, and everything we just reawakened within us to remember, it is done, it is complete. May we each feel the wholeness within us. And so it is. And so it is. So just take a moment just to come back in. Maybe wiggle your toes, your feet. Start to shift back into the room that you're in.